Hey guys, welcome back to Just Fixing Garage. I'm Justin. Today we're working on a 2016 Chrysler Town and Country. This is my mom's van. I've done brakes on it in the past, and I may even have a few videos from other things I've been working on. But today we're going to be working on the stow and go seat. So one of the captain's seats in the back no longer is able to stow anymore. When you pull the lever, it doesn't do anything. From doing some research, it's a pretty common problem, and it's fixed by replacing one of the cables. So I'm going to go through and show you how I do this on this car. It seems like you can do it with some simple hand tools, and you also get really detailed instructions from Dodge, MOPAR, or whatever with the kit. So it seems pretty self-explanatory, but I'm going to go through and do everything. So far, I know I'm going to need a Phillips head screwdriver, maybe a flathead, a pair of Snips, and I'd say some needle-nose pliers to really get in there. So let me show you what's wrong first and show you how to fix it. So let's get started. Okay, so that's the part. Let's show you what's going on here. So generally, when you're working on these, you are just supposed to be able to hit this lever, and when you hit this lever, it's supposed to allow the seat to retract up. So I actually already have the other one stowed, and that's how it's supposed to function. You pull one lever and that's it, or you can even pull from the back, but no matter which lever I pull, it doesn't matter, it's not going down. So there is a way that we are going to be able to get this to go down if we wanted to, which I will show you right now on how to like bypass the cable, and then we'll show you, how to verify that's the issue. So let's get into it. All right guys, so I'm looking at the back of the seat, and I'm going to raise this little flap here, and we have this lever here. That's usually what is supposed to get pulled up to make it stow. So if you really don't want to fix this, you can just always go in here and pull this up. So you're going to grab this whole lever and pull it up, and then it can come up. So that at least verifies that there's definitely a cable issue causing it to not work. So I'm going to show you how to dive in, and we'll start getting that out. So first, we're going to go through, flap this up, and take out these two screws. We've got a Phillips head screw here and a Phillips head screw here. So let's take that off, and then we'll see what's next. My Phillips head screwdriver bit is too small, so I'm just going to use the flathead because it fits it fine. And look, we got a fancy cup holder over here. I will put my screws in so I don't lose them. Okay, both screws are out, and on this side it should just allow this to pop off, I believe. Yep, pops right off. A little bit of pressure, you can see it's got those golden clips in there to hold it. And wow, if you look at this one, it's actually broken. Look at that. That's not what I was expecting. I was expecting it to actually be just stretched, but this one has completely broken. So check that out. Well, I think we know what's wrong, so hopefully this cable will get us going. Let's get the other side off if we can. For this side, there's an extra screw, so you're going to have to pull this up and expose the screw right there. So I won't be able to film really and do that at the same time, so I'll set to the side. Okay, that screw is out. Now we can pop this side off just like the other one. Okay. That one is out. Alrighty, so we've got this fully exposed. Now we're going to need to get to our next part, and that's going to be taking the top of the seat off. So for me, I am going to set this back down and get this battery out of here. It's actually a lot cleaner than I thought it was going to be. Maybe it doesn't look like that on camera, but so I need to pull this up. We're actually going to need to pull this cover off of the seat. So to do that, you'll see that there is, you can't see, essentially just a little bit of plastic clips around the entirety of under the seat that are going to be pulled off. Sorry, I can't give you a good angle, but you'll see this ring that has to come off. Easier to see on this side. And now, actually, I might leave this front one. Let me see if I can leave that and I can lean the seat over. Because that might be better to put it back on. So right now I've just got the sides off, this side and that side. And I'm going to pull it through this side. There we go. Now there's foam there, so you want to make sure that you're pushing that through so it doesn't tear in the back. So there's this foam here. Just push that through. Be very careful, because you don't want the seat to look goofy when you're done. There we go. No breakage for me. There we go. Like I said, I'm just going to flip it. We're going to leave it just like that. You want to take that front one off, go for it. I'm going to leave it. Going to make it easier to put on. So, I'm not really taking a lot of stops here, but this gets us to our next part. And there's this little covering here. I think it's to help silence the springs. We don't really need this in our way, so you're just going to put a little tension on it and pull it through. Maybe it'd be easier for the one closest to me. Think of it like an accordion. You're just stretching it out a little bit to get it to come off. Hopefully this video is going good, because I can't really tell. Kind of a tight spot. Let's see if I can get that last one without setting you down. Working one hand, it sucks. Almost. Okay, I'm gonna set you down. Let's see. Okay. Well, 10 times easier. Okay. All right. I'm gonna grab our new cable. And we'll start looking at this. Alright guys, so you mentioned that it's the cable here that's no longer functioning. Ours has completely snapped and fallen through. We can chase our wire all the way through to here. Now we're going to need to see this, so we're going to have to pop the seat back up, take this piece off so we can see those cables. So again, now that we have this open, you can just pull this lever here and pull the seat up. So next is going to be, should just be taking that screw out right there. So it looks like a Torx head. I've got to go grab that. So let's get that going. All right guys, end up running to get a Torx set. Let me see what size this is. And apologies if the video seems kind of long. I've watched a few people do this, and honestly, they don't film everything, which makes it difficult to really follow. So I was really just trying to be that guy that has it so clear, it's hard to miss. So the size for this one is going to be a T20. This is going to be, I have a ratchet set that I got from Lexivon. It's some cheap Amazon kit, but you know what, it's been so handy. But we're going to take this off so we can see all of the rest of our cable. If not, you won't be able to do this. Okay, we'll set that screw to the side. So after that's off, it looks like it just slides down and out. And now we've got another trim piece out of the way. Put that screw with the others. So I'm going to put the seat back down. We can take a look. All right, so now we can see our cable all the way through and where it connects to this. I've seen people say they take this spring off to do this job. That might be what we do, but I'm gonna take a look at these instructions real quick and maybe we can take a look at this together. Yeah, it looks like it's showing some of the basic steps. Detach the cable, cut the zip ties from the cable. Okay, yeah, we'll have to break those, understood. Detach the auto follow cable, okay. Hopefully this is the right one. That looks like the right one now. Oh wow, this is like a full kit. Wow, I did not expect that. Okay, so I thought I was replacing one cable, but it looks like I'll be replacing both because it comes with it. So that's fancy. So I'm going to start with this one and get this out and start feeding it through just so I know that it's right. To get that off, you're really just going to need a pair of needle nose to get in there, and you're gonna just need to kind of push it, or seeing that we're gonna get rid of this, you could turn it sideways a bit, pinch it, and then try to walk it in like that. It's just got little ears like that. So just so I keep everything exactly how it's got to go, I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to get my new cable ready. Again, this is very hard to do with one hand, but I want to feed the new cable through and do it step by step. To me, that is the safest option so that you don't make a mistake. Because if you try to do too much in one shot, you are bound to make a mistake. It looks like this is supposed to do what here? I don't have a good explanation because, let me see if I hold this here, because the cable was already broken. Okay, there we go. So it does go in there. It's unfortunate that mine, again, was already broken, so it didn't give me much to go off of. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's really strange. Why is it like that? I would have expected, unless I just have to pull this now. Maybe that's it. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. I just thought there was a lot of slack, but that's nothing to do with it. Now, I'm not going to click this in yet. I'm just going to get it close. And I know I keep moving the camera around. I'm going to do that by pulling the cable tight here, because I want that pretty close. Okay. So, since I'm replacing both cables, let's see what's going to work out best for me next. Let's just trace this cable in and get this one ready. Really, I could get away with just replacing this one cable, which I'm contemplating. Let's see. We know it's going to come off of here. Look at this zip tie here. We're going to have to cut that. And for that, we're going to grab a pair of snips. I'm just going to get it from the top. Okay. So that gets this cable out of there. Okay. And I'll go through and I'll snip the rest, because again, I want to do this one cable at a time. Keep it simple for myself. The kit that Chrysler sells comes with new zip ties. So again, you can just fast forward through this if this is too much and it's not interesting to you. That is fine. I just felt like there was so many people that have tried to film this and it's just not enough detail. So, but this one, let's see how that goes on. To do that, I'll look at the new one. So where's our new cable at? So let's see how this goes on. So if we're looking at this, it looks like I should just be able to push it off of the current thing that it's on now. So let's try that. Yep, that worked. Okay, easy enough. We'll need to play around with that. So I'm going to stop recording for a minute so I can get this fed in. Essentially, I'm going to get this piece in here and try to get it to connect on there. If I can't, I may take that spring off. I'll show you what I do if I have to do that. Then I'll work on the next cable. But really, I'm just following my existing line, bring it over. This little loop has to sit inside of here, and then this part will then slide onto there. So let me get that going. All right, guys, so I am going to take the spring off. I use my needle nose to pull it off of there, and that will now allow me to bring this back easier. Still a little bit of tension. I guess I could take the other spring off too. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead, keep the one spring on, get this out of my way, then I can pull this back. I almost had it even with the springs on, but it is tough, especially when I'm by myself. So again, I'm taking that spring off. It went looped onto there. It's going to allow me to pull this easier and get it in there. While I was trying to tighten it, it actually clipped this piece in. So this is already seated and good to go. So once I do pull this back and get this locked in, this cable's done besides clipping it into the other one. So let me do that and I'll show you. See how much easier it is to pull. Actually, I might be able to do it on camera. There we go. That wasn't too bad. There, that's all in. That's exactly how it should be. It's locked in, that's done. I just haven't put the spring back on. Okay, looking good. Okay, there's tight tension. Okay, so now I'm going to look at my old cable that I took off and dismantled and get that completely out of here, if I can. Sides where it's already connected. So let's work on the next cable and see where that goes. I don't know how much I really want to fool with this one, but I guess we'll look at the new setup, see how it goes in. Looks like it has a similar setting as the other one, so I should be able to push this part down and out. Might be easier if I flip the seat up, take the front off. I'm, again, gonna try to avoid doing that. So let me see if I can just push that down. Either that or just break it trying. Looks like it's pretty loose though. That came off way too easy. I'm guessing these are both broken. Okay, so that's off. Again, I want to get my new one ready so that I can keep following the same path. I don't want to like forget where something goes, even though I had this all on video and whatnot. It's easy to forget. So, same thing, we got to get that down there and get it to loop around it. Trying to do this kind of blind and with one hand. Good, got that. I don't know how well you can see it, but I got it. Now I'm going to pull some tension on the cable to bring that in, and I can hopefully get that to clip in. Doesn't seem like it's going to clip in like that. Maybe it just stays tensioned like that. I don't know. That doesn't feel like it clips. Then again, it didn't feel like it was clipped on the other one either. Huh, that's because the other one was broken already. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Well, let's follow our path here. Looks like it comes with a new one for this. That's pretty cool. So we're going to slip that in. And then this cable can go into that. Beautiful. Okay. So let's keep going then. So let's follow our cable here. Looks like it's got to come off of this. And then push forward on this. That will get our old cable completely out of here. Goodbye. Okay. So where was I? Got my new one. So you guys can see what's going on here. Gonna get that in there. Get that clipped down. And then, let's see. I'm trying to see if, does this open up? Looks like it does, so. Need to get that to open up. So let me see if I can set you guys up somewhere. Let's see. Sorry, this is very difficult in this work area. So hopefully you're getting enough information that this even helps you remotely. That's why I'm trying not to edit anything, because I feel like every step is important. So I got that clip open. Slide the new one in. I'm going to clip it in here. That should be it for it. All those are clipped in. Now I'm going to try to put my spring back on that I took off. I say try because something tells me it's going to be a lot harder to put on than it was to take off. Nope, not too bad. Okay. One thing I don't like is there doesn't really seem to be much tension on this. I don't really like how this one doesn't feel like it stays tight. But, okay, so let's take a look at everything. We've done two cables in this case. We've done this one. You can see it's fully locked in. It sits in that loop. You gotta make sure it goes through this little ear here and funnels down. And when this turns, it puts the wire inside this loop. Follow it through this chassis here. It's gonna circle around. It's gonna have its own clip that went there. It's gonna go here. I think it came with a new zip tie that goes on this. I'll have to check the instructions there, and I'll put anything in there that's relevant. And then it hooks to this. Now again, I took this spring off to make it easier to pull this in to get this on, because this has a lot of tension, it seems like, all the time. This is probably like a common failure because it's just tension on a cable all the time and they do stretch. All right, so we took care of that cable. On this one, we had to just push it down. Actually, I popped this off and pushed it down. Again, I don't like this design. It seems like it's ready to fail or just fall down. I don't know. Maybe it tightens up the first time you use it. I don't know. It doesn't feel too tight to me. Then we follow it down and through. We added a new clip there, and then it sits into this seat and sits there. So that is everything on. We got the spring on, so that's good to go. Hey, Kevin. Hey. Kevin's working on his Camaro in there.
What's going on?
So that's all on. So the next thing I want to do is kind of test it, make sure it's good to go, and I'm gonna look at the instructions and see if I am supposed to do any other zip ties, because it came with its own instructions and I think it came with some zip ties. So let me see where it says to put those and I'll show you. So perfect, let's keep going. All right guys, so I was looking for these awesome detailed, looking through the awesome detailed instructions that Chrysler gives, because they give you one zip tie. It shows to install one zip tie there, and that appears to be right here. So I believe it wants us to zip tie all three of these together right there like that, because I can see 3 cables in there, and that's about what it looks like it's supposed to go. So I'm gonna add the zip tie there and test it, and we'll see what happens. All right, choppy video, right? So there, I've got the zip tie in there, I've got all these cables in, everything is secure. So now I want to see if it's going to actually work. If I hit this, that didn't sound like it. Did something pop off? Well, that definitely popped off. That's interesting. Hold on. All right guys, so let's do a quick recap, and something I want to call out is I didn't see in the instructions, or maybe I missed it, where it says to put a zip tie on this part, but I remember there was a zip tie on it when we did it. I only say this because if you don't put it through there, what I found is as soon as I pulled the cable, this piece popped out. So I don't know why my instructions don't show up. Maybe I have older version, but if you don't zip tie this down like I did, it will just pop off. And you know, even I'm skeptical of how well it's gonna hold up over time. I thought maybe this would have came with 2 zip ties, and I'm looking at the instructions and it doesn't show to zip tie that part down. So that's very strange to me that that part needs to be zip tied down. It did not come with a zip tie to do it. So anyway, make sure you zip tie that down. And then I was able to test it. I've got my spring back on, everything's on. I zip tied it here as well, but that is the zip tie spot to do for sure. So now when I do this, seems to want to get stuck a little bit, but it worked good. So I gotta pull the lever on the back. All right, so next is putting it back together. So really no different than how we took it off. We need to start with our black plastic trim, which we can firstly start getting on from the top, which I think it went like so. Nope, sorry, I've got that wrong. It must have went like this. And possibly this helps hold it down too, I don't know. But when I tried to use this without putting this piece on there, it did not like it. So we'll have to push the seat up to get to it further. Okay. So let me see if I can show you. Putting that one Torx screw back in. We know where it goes, just a matter of getting this where it goes. So there, that looks perfect. Man, I hope this video comes out good for you guys, because if you don't know what you're doing, this can seem very scary. But really, I've only been working on it for 20 minutes. And that's with videoing. Seemed pretty self-explanatory to me, but again, I kind of work on cars all the time. I'm gonna guess the dealer wants $100 for this job. This is the T20 that we took out. Make sure from the bottom it clips down. The screw shouldn't line up if it doesn't, but just in case, just make sure that's all good. This is probably a safety plate for these in case they pop off. Okay, so that's all on. I'll put this back down, pull this lever here, pull the seat back up, which you kind of have to do in one motion. Okay. You guys are not gonna like being shook up so much. So this is back on, that's all good to go. Again, I got my zip tie on there. It should hold it in just fine. Now I've got to put my screen piece back on, which I don't even know where I tossed that to. Oh, here we go. So next is going to be putting this piece back on. Say start with one side. Oh, I must have it upside down, because you can see the rust spots or whatever. How something rust in here is beyond me. I'm not really a big fan of Chryslers anymore, the more I work on them. Okay. Hopefully we can... Oh, that seems like it's backwards too. Hold on. Definitely is the right and the wrong way. I think it's got to go like this. The way it was stretched kind of gives it an orientation where it can only go on one way. So I'll set you down again so you're not getting sick of me. Let's see. If we struggle with these, I can just put a screwdriver in there. There's little holes in it. That might be the saving grace for this. Just put a screwdriver in the hole and let that do the work for you. There we go. Yeah, that's all. This side came out a little bit. Yeah, that is all in. All right, so now that that's in, hopefully you can still see. I'm gonna put my seat back on. Remember, I didn't take the front clip out, so that means it can just fold right back over. Tough part's gonna be pushing the foam back in, and it's got to go in between the seat. And it does want to tear easily, so try to be gentle with it. Looks like it has to go around the anchors. So stuff the foam in as good as you can. It should come out the other side. And then I'm gonna stuff this plastic through. Gonna have to find the holes for the anchors and line them up too, otherwise you're not going to be able to pull it all the way. This is a little bit of finessing you're going to have to work on. You want this to look good again. Take your time. I'd like it to look as good as new when I'm done. Plastic, you're just gonna pop that back under. Okay. Okay, let's get those little tabs to stay on. Alrighty, I'm gonna step away for a bit and I'll come back and work on this in a minute. Alright guys, so I got my seat cover on pretty well. I got the back on pretty solid. Pulled through like it was before. Just get this through there. All right, so everything's starting to get how it was before. So next I need to start putting my plastic pieces on. I'm gonna start with this side. Let me turn that off. I'll start with this side because this one doesn't have the handle. It should make it a little bit easier to go through. So I'll set you up to the side and show you how it's done. And just put it all back together and test it one more time, make sure we're good to go. Well, everybody, that wraps it up. I got all the plastic pieces back in. I got my old cable out. As you can see on this one, it's completely missing and was broken. So goodbye old cable. And then we're gonna test it. Boom, just how it should work. So, if you guys are wondering what the part number was for this, I will share it with you. I got this off Amazon because I figured it'd be the cheapest. Came with both the cables, and this is for the driver's side, and this is the 2016 with, I think the color matters too for some reason. 2016 Town and Country. It's 6814-3771 AB-001. I think the passenger side is different, so just keep that in mind. And if you're not sure, you know, go to your dealership. They probably have these in stock for how quickly and often they're probably going to break. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. I do want to state, and I guess I'll talk to you guys as I do it. I do want to state, usually I stop and start as I do everything. Like I'll stop filming, or if I'm working on a car, I can set it out and let you watch it. But in this case, I just wanted to make sure you saw everything, because a lot of the videos I watched, you know, they'll look at the paperwork and such, and they'll like skip parts and they'll say, oh, I did this, but I wanted you guys to really see what I'm doing. So the video might seem a little shaky or hard to go. I didn't have anybody here to help me film, so I just kind of set it where I could, held it when I could, and did it that way. I think if I took out videoing and having to stop to run out with the wife for a bit, 30 minutes, and the tools are very simple. Again, I had a Phillips head screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, a pair of Snips, a pair of needle nose pliers, and then you have to have that T20 Torx. That's probably the only specialty tool that you would need. And if you've got a set like I do, I set it on the ground, but I have a Torx set and an Allen key set that I bought just for doing brake jobs, because sometimes you need that stuff, and it worked out fine. So if your Stow and Go isn't working, just go through, follow the steps, do it that way. You can follow the paperwork that comes with the actual cabling. I took a brief look at it. The only thing I will say is I didn't see on there, and maybe I'll check again, just to make sure you put that zip tie right where that clip is for the main release, because when I was testing, if the zip tie isn't there, it pops off. So that's probably in a service bulletin or something, or it's expected, because it almost seemed like somebody had been in there before. Really strange. But anyway, I hope that was helpful. Again, if it was, please be sure to like, subscribe, give me some comments on maybe some other things I can do. I am looking to get a tripod for this GoPro, or a tripod base. I just haven't picked it up yet. Maybe that would have worked better for filming, but again, I'm just trying to teach people on how I did stuff. I try to take extra time out of my day to do it. I think I have an hour and a half working on this, because I'm stopping, I'm trying to talk on the video, I'm making sure I have all the tools I need and laid out. So anyway, thanks again guys, and have a good one. See ya.